The conspiracy against Pericles is a story of political intrigue shrouded in mystery and myth. Reality intertwines with ancient prophecies, divine warnings, and dark omens. To his supporters, Pericles was a visionary chosen by the gods. To his enemies, he was a doomed figure, marked for downfall by forces beyond his control. His life and death remain a blend of history and legend, whispered through the ages. In 432 BCE, as the threat of the Peloponnesian War loomed over Athens, Pericles sought guidance from the Delphic oracle. The Pythia gave him an unsettling response. You will build walls to protect yourself from the sword, but you will fall to what you cannot see. Salvation will bring your downfall. Pericles interpreted the prophecy as a warning to fortify Athens. He immediately ordered the completion of the long walls, connecting the city to the port of Piraeus. For a time, these walls seemed to guarantee safety, shielding the Athenians from enemy attacks. However, when a plague swept through the overcrowded city in 430 BCE, the prophecy took on a more sinister meaning. The very walls that had protected them now became a prison. Disease spread rapidly, and thousands perished. Pericles' enemies claimed that the gods had turned against him, and that his hubris had led to the city's suffering. An ominous event shook Delphi shortly before the plague struck Athens. A white deer, believed to be sacred to Apollo, collapsed and died on the temple steps, staining the marble with blood. The priests interpreted this as a warning. The fall of a great leader will follow the death of this sacred creature. He brings light, but will be consumed by darkness. The deer was seen as a symbol of wisdom and purity, qualities often associated with Pericles. His opponents declared that the death of the sacred animal marked the beginning of his decline. A shadowy figure in the story of Pericles' downfall is the mysterious priestess known only as Charit. According to legend, she delivered a chilling prophecy. The final sacrifice will seal his fate. His end will not come by the sword, but in the shadow of a forgotten altar. Some historians believe this prophecy referred to a neglected ritual. Pericles was said to have failed to offer a proper sacrifice to Poseidon, angering the god of the sea. Others saw it as a metaphor for a deeper spiritual failure, the abandonment of old traditions in favor of new ideals. Another ominous event occurred in 431 BCE. Part of the colossal bronze statue of Athena Promachos on the Acropolis broke and fell during a storm. Athena was the city's protector, and her shield symbolized her defense of Athens. The city's priests warned that this was a sign of the goddess' displeasure. Pericles' enemies used the incident to turn public opinion against him. The goddess has laid down her shield. The city will no longer be protected. Fear spread throughout Athens as more omens followed: unexplained fires, sudden storms, and strange lights in the night sky. In the days before his death, Pericles experienced a series of haunting dreams. One night, he dreamed of the Acropolis covered in black birds with burning eyes. They circled above the city, crying out in voices that sounded almost human before vanishing into a thick fog. Upon waking, Pericles was deeply troubled. He confided in a close advisor, "The shadow of fate is calling me. My time is near." On the night before his death, a mysterious visitor appeared in his home. He was described as a tall man in a white cloak with a strange, glowing gaze. He spoke only once. "The trial is over. You will hear the verdict at sunset." None of the household servants saw him leave, and the door was found locked from the inside. Ancient beliefs held that powerful leaders could become victims of the trial of three worlds, a supernatural judgment invoking the forces of heaven, earth, and the underworld. Such trials were believed to be rare and deadly. It is said that on the night of Pericles' death, his enemies conducted a secret ritual to summon this trial. As he took his final breath, witnesses claimed the sky turned red, and a flock of black birds appeared on the horizon, flying in a perfect circle before vanishing. Shortly before his death, Pericles received a final prophecy from a mysterious priestess. Your city will stand for centuries, but your name will be swallowed by silence. Yet the stars will remember those who dared to defy fate. Some interpreted this as a warning that Pericles' legacy would be overshadowed by the events that followed, but his spirit would live on in the stories of those who remembered his greatness. After his death, Pericles became a figure of legend. Some saw him as a hero who defied the gods, while others believed he was a man cursed by divine forces. One story tells of 3 ancient olive trees growing at his burial site, symbolizing wisdom, strength, and destiny. According to legend, a white owl, Athena's sacred bird, can sometimes be seen in the branches of these trees, watching over the city. It is said that as long as the owl watches, the spirit of Pericles still guards Athens, standing between the city and the shadows that threaten to consume it.